Danny's D World, Abel, XAM, Michael Matt Killer, and the rest of the Dragon Ball protest team, and the amazing Spider Man and Sony Spider Man support people. It's time for another new type of video intro, since I'm sick of recording videos at night so the video parts match. This is a new intro for an updated daytime intro, and this is the intro to various series of video responses to you guys. My first series of video responses were only going to be another rant on the Amazing Spider-Man's 1 and 2 made especially for you guys, and of course Dragon Ball Evolution Naruto defense video, and of course another Dragon Ball Z rant video aimed at each of you. I decided to add a rant on Broly haters. I'm a huge Broly fanboy, and I'm sick of haters hating on Broly for dumb reasons and asking dumb questions on why he's quote unquote popular so bad. One for Dragon Ball GT, another for Goku versus Superman, and various other franchises I can't think of at the moment that you either like that I hate, or that you bash, or franchises I like that you bashed. So yeah, and also another video that I've been meaning to do for a long time but never got around to completing and finishing, and that is a brand new Wrestling Jesus style, several reasons each of you individually, each of you suck your burial videos to finally bury it in this feud once and for all. So with that being said, let's get started. Gonna show you SOBs what I'm made of. Alright, Abel, XAM, Michael Matt Killer, you three the most. But this goes for the rest of the Dragon Ball protest, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball defenders, and defenders and fanboys of other franchises I hate or have bashed. And you too on Danny's D World, because you guys do this too. But I'm talking to these top three: Abel, XAM, and Michael Matt Killer, and especially Abel, because he does it the most of the three. And as you can see by the title, each of you gotta stop. One thing I'm getting sick of: each of you gotta stop with this fair shit. You gotta stop with this fair shit. You gotta stop expecting myself and your worst enemies and other people to be fair with your franchise, when you weren't fair with my franchise. We don't have to be fair. We don't have to be fair, and people like me aren't gonna be fair. Aren't gonna be fair. You talk crap. Each of you, in some ways, have talked crap about Naruto. With Naruto, you created the Naruto Sucks Army. You talked crap, protested, and bashed Dragon Ball Evolution. You talked crap and didn't support Green Lantern 2011. You talked crap about Thor, the Avengers 2012, and Sam Raimi and MCU films. Something that made it. All those other things I just mentioned, excluding Naruto, were in some ways failures. Failures. But you talked crap about Thor, Avengers, and Sam Raimi, Spider Man. You talk crap about those, and not only did you talk crap and bash those, but you didn't do it to provide actual criticisms, or you didn't do it because, let's just say, oh, you don't like those particular adaptations because you're such a huge fan of comic books and their source material. No. You talk crap about those because you were jealous. You were jealous and to excuse and defend the garbage and fecal matter that was your Amazing Spider-Man Part 1 and 2, and you were jealous and angry because with all their hype, with all the hype and all the money and all the fanfare thrown at the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and all of the apologists, they will never be as big, and they will never be what the MCU was, what Sam Raimi was when it was around. They will always be that other Spider-Man, and they will also always be the one that killed and ruined Spider-Man on the big screen. Big screen, it will always be considered one of the biggest failures ever. And even so, once again, so yeah, and then there was also, I don't talk much about these guys because they're not relevant anymore, but they're around too. Not only did you have, when it came to bashing Thor, Avengers, and the MCU, you also had these jealous DC Christopher Nolan Batman fans who couldn't accept that crap, which I told you, Danny's D World, which I told you and several people in 2011 and 12, that crap is dated and terrible now, and nobody wants to see it no more. And I was proven right years later in 2012. Those Batman, that crappy realistic garbage, which isn't realistic, it's the most unrealistic if you really analyze it. Nobody wants to see that realistic wannabe philosophical garbage. These people want comic book movies. They want shared universes, and now they want multiverses. Nobody cares about a crappy realistic Batman and superhero, which isn't realistic when you think about it. So yeah, I've spent so much time fighting the Dragon Ball protests and fighting the Naruto Sucks Army. I never got a chance to fight those group of people. I don't like. I can't stand the haterade. I can't stand those haters. I can't stand people who bash successful stuff. It's bad enough you bash failures like DBE. It was bad enough you were bashing failures like DBE and Green Lantern 2011. You were bashing and didn't support it or protested those. But you were now trying to talk trash, trying to talk down, trying to discredit the films and anyone who likes those franchises because your franchise didn't succeed. You, Danny's D World, you had the gall, you had the audacity to sit up there. You had the gall and audacity to sit there to make a bunch of videos when your Amazing Spider-Man films 1 and 2 fell. First, you had the audacity to do that, lessening rope. You, the asshole who has been talking about Dragon Ball, which up until that super garbage had been over for about 10 plus, had been over for about almost 15 plus years, 10 plus years here in 10 plus years here in America. talking about a lesson in growth with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, telling us stuff we already know. Then when we get to Amazing Spider-Man 2, then doing the rant and all rants, trying hard to bash Sam Raimi, to try to make that fecal matter piece of shit Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 look good. Then the worst one. Oh, it got even worse with Amazing Spider-Man 2. When this film came out, despite all the fanfare, you still crashed and burned. The film made back its money. But they didn't meet box office expectation, and they grossed lesser than the previous one. And got a lot of negative reviews. The only Spider-Man store to receive a rotten tomato meter, and you had the gall to attack anyone who went to Ninja Turtles 2014, Transformers Age of Extinction, which straight up owned Spider-Man at the box office, $1 billion. You had the audacity to attack the standards and accuse people like me and many others who chose to watch those movies over your precious Amazing Spider-Man 2. You had the audacity to say we have low standards, low expectations, when you went to the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, not once, but twice, knowing they weren't good movies, knowing they didn't care about making good movies, and knowing they didn't follow the comic books. You went twice. Not only did you go, you lied and defended these movies, showing not only you're a hypocrite sheep, which I like to call you, my words, but you're in your words, you have low expectations, no standards. You have low standards, no standards, and you have poor taste in films, and you don't know shit about Spider-Man. You don't know shit about Spider-Man. Yeah, we know. Yeah, telling us stuff we already knew about how Hollywood studios don't care about the properties they're adapting. That's true. So explain to me why you went to Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 twice. Yeah. Like I said, you weren't fair with Dragon Ball Evolution. You talk crap about Naruto, help create the Naruto Sucks Army, and talk crap about all those other things I enjoy. So in retaliation, I bash, I talk crap, I protest, and I talk down your crap. And the difference between me and you, my criticisms towards your franchises, such as Dragon Ball, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, are legit. Everyone bashes your own fans. This Dragon Ball, your own fans bash that, and that goes double for you, Abel. Who you do this more than any of them. You really need to stop. You try to come up with every excuse in the world when you got retaliated against Amazing Spider-Man, So you protest Dragon Ball Evolution. You make your decision on a film before you see it. You pay tickets for other movies and go see Dragon Ball Evolution, but we turn around and do the same thing, except we didn't do that sneaking into theaters crap. The film, your Amazing Spider-Man films, they weren't worth even that. Now, I waited for the television premiere and the DVD for the television premiere for 2012, and I saw a leaked copy of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Saw a leaked copy online of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And so when we don't support your stuff, all of a sudden, it's a problem. You try to find every excuse in the world when you got your ass retaliated against. Yeah, so once again, Abel, you're not fair, and you bash my fandoms. Naruto, Dragon Ball Evolution, Green Lantern, Thor 2011, the MCU, Avengers 2012, DCEU with you, also TMNT 2014 and 16, and many more. I bash, I'm not fair with your franchises, such as Dragon Ball. And that means Dragon Ball Z Kai too. Do not ever mention Dragon Ball Z Kai around me. If I don't like the original Dragon Ball Z, why would I like Kai, which is the same thing, only fillerless, with even worser, cringier dialogue, cringy voice acting, and oh, you're still not accurate to your manga. Don't forget the ridiculous edits. Don't forget the ridiculous edits. So yeah, I am not fair. I am not appreciative. I am not respectful towards your fandoms and towards mine. And stop expecting me and other people, especially me, your worst enemy, to being fair. Yeah, this was a new type of video. This was the short introduction to the other various rants I've already done on you and will do on you. I will be bashing your fandoms, and that goes for all of you. But yeah, stop with this fair shit. I hate it when my worst enemies try to reason with me. Each of you, when you're in front of me, put your dukes up each and every time. Knuckle up and defend yourself every time, because it's going to be a fight every time. There will be no truces. There will be no truces. And you, Michael Matt, Killer, yeah, got some words for you too. Just like Abel, you did the same thing. You tried 2013, 2012 and 13. You tried hard. You tried hard to defend Dragon Ball Z and bash bash Naruto. First you tried to come like a bully. When you couldn't win, you demanded I stop. You demanded I stop and see it your way. Sorry, doesn't work like that. Your show sucks. Vegeta sucks. Vegeta sucks. I like characters who save the world the first time. I like useful characters. I like characters who get stuff done, not characters who fail at everything and save the world. What the second, third, fourth, 13th time, 13th time. I like actual character progression. And characters who work for their power, not random Zenkai boosters and multiple off-screen training and multiple off-screen activity for the crappy character development, which is what we see a lot of in Dragon Ball. And after seeing Naruto, DBE, and many more do it better, I go back to the pussy shit known as Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, and never again come in 2014 trying to shit again. Yet the audacity, you and XAM had the audacity to come back in 2014, as if my opinions and everything and every terrible thing I've said about Dragon Ball in 2012 and 13 would somehow be different in 2014. Dragon Ball Z, it sucked back in 2012 and 13. It sucked back before that, and it sucked when it was in its prime, and it's even worser now. So I will humor that. That was before I had the audacity. That was before I had the unfortunate dishonor of seeing Resurrection F, which, if I didn't hate them already for Boo Saga, I disowned them after this saga, after this movie, and the entire Super franchise. We are not dumb. We are not stupid. We are not easily entertained morons like you and the rest of the Dragon Ball Z fans. We demand quality over quantity. Putting in random Super Saiyans, violence, fatalities, breaking out every moments, which all got old with Dragon Ball GT and the Brawly movie. Yeah, that doesn't impress me and anyone else anymore. Yeah, when I talk crap about Dragon Ball Z, it was legit. Your criticisms towards Naruto, and that goes for each of you, were either personal gripes or bullshit, BS that can be ripped apart by anyone. So yeah. But since you weren't fair with Dragon Ball Evolution, Naruto, you bashed my stuff. You bashed my stuff. Bash Dragon Ball Z. I am not fair. I am not appreciative. I am not respectful. Because one thing I did try to do. Okay, franchises like Naruto and Dragon Ball Evolution were only, and this goes for all of you, especially you, Danny's D World. Franchises like Naruto and Dragon Ball Evolution were all partially inspired by and only kind of exist because Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, as garbage as it was popular. But you guys aren't respectful towards Dragon Ball. You guys and Toriyama aren't respectful towards Dragon Ball Evolution, and you guys aren't respectful towards Naruto and Kishimoto. So I won't be respectful towards the original Dragon Ball franchise or any Dragon Ball made by Akira Toriyama, and I damn sure won't be respectful towards Akira Toriyama, and I will hate him for everything his franchise Dragon Ball borrowed and stole from. Not only stole from, disgraced and ruined in his series. Dragon Ball ruined everything except fusion. Everything that was ever cool. Martial arts, superpowers, ki, glasses, comic books, science fiction, fantasy, everything. He ruined it all with his bullshit rules and inconsistencies, everything. Everything that was ever cool was terrible and gay in his franchise. And in Naruto, DBE, and the rest all took his same formula and did it right. So what else? So what I'm getting at is stop with all the fair shit. I wasn't fair back then, and I won't be fair now, and I damn sure won't be fair in victory. You protest and bash my stuff. I protest and bash yours. Eye for an eye. Gonna be like Sasuke up in here. The Avenger. Yeah. We come here for vengeance. So, with that being said, let me hit my music and get out of here.
Like a million faces, I recognize them all. And one by one they all become a number as they fall. In the face of reason, I can take no more. One by one they all become a black mark on the floor. Is it made